China, we call cooked rice fun. Believe me, fun is fantastic. Do you know that half the world's population gets 80% of the daily nutrition from rice? That means 1 out of every 2 of you out there is a rice eater. That means all of us, you and me, eat rice every day. The first thing I want to do is a dish which I have developed, which is very popular. I call this coconut curry fried rice. A lot of people said, you cannot eat rice every day. This is plain and boring. There's nothing boring about this coconut curry flavored rice. To make it more interesting, I'm going to add some nuts into the rice. To do that, we're going to roast some walnut first in this oven. We have turned it on 325 to 350 degrees. Okay, convection oven. And then we're going to get ready to do this rice. First, we're going to heat up the wok to save time. And then we'll mince some ginger. Oh, done. And then also cut up some onion. You can cut into little cubes or you just simply slice it. Don't get too excited. There's nothing to it. If Yan can, so can you. If Yan cannot, you still can. Move it all together, and also to give color contrast, we're going to use a tiny bit of red bell pepper. Cut it up, cut it up. You can use frozen peas and carrots. Doesn't make any difference. Put them all together. You can do it all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do it all together, so it do not take you 3 hours to cut up half of a bell pepper. Okay, set this aside, and also we have the rice. See here, we have 2 to 3 cups. It depends. You can have 4 cups of rice. When this is all nice and ready, you put approximately 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. Precise measurement. Okay, move the wok around a little bit. Hot. And then ginger, onion, put the onion, wow, sizzling hot onion, okay, and put a tiny bit of shrimp, stir this, nice and sizzling. Chinese cooking is great exercise. By the time you finish, you're totally exhausted. And put some cooked shrimp, about 4 ounces or half a cup. And then stir. Look at this. And then put the green peas. Do it with style, otherwise you go. Stir. And then put the rice in. Because the red bell pepper doesn't take too long to cook, you should not put in too early. So keep the color and the contrast. And the color, contrast, and the texture. In the meantime, while this is frying, we're going to make a sauce because this is refrigerated cooked rice. Okay? You should use refrigerated cooked rice. You know why? Because they separate a lot easier. Rice is just like a relationship. When it's hot and steamy, it sticks together. It is true. And then we're going to make a sauce because we want to steam the rice a little bit by using half a cup or 1/3 of a cup of chicken broth, about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Exactly 3 tablespoons. Right now, stop. And then half a teaspoon of sesame seed oil and a tiny bit of curry. Wow, look at this. 1 tablespoon curry, a tiny bit of white pepper. And then you mix the whole thing up. Mix it up. Put it right in here. Wow! Look at how marvelous. And then it doesn't take too long to cook at all. It is already done. And then you shut it off. And I want to show you how easy it is to garnish this and put them all up. Look at that. Ooh. And then you garnish it with coconut. Okay, I love coconut. I'm local about coconut. And then some parsley. I love parsley. And of course, you cannot miss your walnut. So we're going to go over there and get our roasted walnut. This looks marvelous. And it's aromatic. We'll close this up. This is good. And then when this is done, we will take a few out. We will chop it up and we'll sprinkle it on top. We'll add some nut, give some texture and character to it. Now we have coconut and we have walnuts. This dish is going completely nuts. Look at how beautiful. Nothing goes better with this dish than my favorite beverages. Tea has been the most popular drink in China for thousands of years. We drink tea to be social. And we drink tea to ease discomfort. And we drink tea to prevent ailment. We also drink tea to restore energy. We even drink tea when we are thirsty. And with all this drinking, no wonder there are over 250,000 different types of Chinese tea, and as many as different types of teapot. In this wonderful tea shop, there are over 100 different types of Chinese tea. From the popular and traditional jasmine tea to iron goddess, to dragon well Longjiang, oolong tea from Dongding, and then the green tea, poaching green tea, the very expensive superior king's tea from oolong with ginseng. Prices range from as low as $1.50 a pound all the way up to $120 a pound. As a matter of fact, pound per pound, your tea can cost a lot more than your T-bone steak at about $120 a pound. You should not just drink it and read your tea leaf. You should frame your tea leaf. It's a masterpiece. When you store good tea, always use a tightly sealed container. You store it in this big bins with a long neck, so there's very little air movement to prevent the flavor and aroma from oxidizing. This particular one, big bin, and of course, this one, big teapot, is for me to take on a trip to go through the Sahara Desert. I'm going to drink out of these all day long. So with all this talking I'm doing, I am thirsty. Bottoms up. That tea was delicious. Next time when I go through the Sahara Desert, I'm going to take a dessert like lemon rice pudding because I love dessert. So we're going to show you this marvelous lemon rice pudding that I often serve to my guests. All I need is approximately 3 cups of cooked rice. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to cook with 3 cups of milk. Now, if you are on a diet, use low-fat milk instead of regular milk. Hey, by the way, do they get low-fat milk from the low-fat cows? I have no idea. I better ask my mother. Okay, we'll turn this on. Turn this on. And the thing is ding, 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 drive me nuts. Okay, put the milk in here, and we shall cook it. And make sure you stir. And also, we're going to use approximately 3/4 cup of sugar. Okay, you can use brown sugar if you want, or you can use the Chinese rock sugar. No problem at all. Stir this. make sure to break up the lumps. And then also, when it's almost getting ready, you put in a tiny bit of lemon zest. But you can put in the final minute. Let it boil for a little while. This takes a little while to boil. And besides, after you boil it, you should let it slightly cool down before you take it out, because otherwise, how can you handle it with your hand, you see? So let it sit there and boil. In the meantime, I have done one a little bit earlier. So we will move these and put it in our bowl right here. Now this is nice and cool. We will mix this up with a tiny bit of extra lemon zest, with a tiny bit of ginger. You can mix it in or you don't, because the rice is already quite sweet, quite nice. You do not have to worry about this, okay? But I'm going to mix a tiny bit and then put everything right in here, okay? Okay, put it right in here. If I were you, I would use a spoon rather than use your hand. But hand is more efficient, and I love to play with food. Besides, I have no time for toys. Make sure, have fun. Can you imagine how ridiculous? Nice and ready. And then when you're ready, all you have to do is, let me clean up my hand. Or we're going to clean up my hand right here. Oh, this is marvelous. Then you can sprinkle whatever you want. Now, this is very ready. I want to show you how marvelous this one is. Everybody look. I hope this come out. Several times it didn't come out. We'll put this right on top of here, and we go. I pray. It came out. And then, to make it nice and easy, you garnish it with a tiny bit of roast walnut. Look at how beautiful. Sprinkle a tiny bit of crystallized ginger, because when you serve it, it will look very nice. If you have time, slice a few slices of lemon and garnish it, and this would look extraordinary nice. Look at how beautiful. Now, I'm going to show you, because I love rice so much, I'm going to show you how to do another dish. And this dish, I call it the golden rice roll. And with this particular dish, you can either use long grain rice. This is long grain rice, medium grain rice, and this is sweet rice, also called glutinous rice. It takes Steve, the floor director, 2.5 weeks to separate all this rice. So we are going to put them all back together. And Steve, this is another 2 extra weeks of overtime for you, I guarantee. Now, for this particular rice roll, we use medium grain rice, grown right here in California. And we're going to have some carrot. We're going to cut up some carrot. One small carrot, you can line them all up like this, okay? And then you can julienne. In the meantime, we turn on the burner. And then also heat up some oil. Marvelous. Set it aside. And then have some bamboo shoot. Look at this. Put them all together. And then have a tiny bit of barbecue pork or ham. This is barbecue pork. We don't need the whole big piece. We cut this in half, and we julienne this. If you have more people, cut them in half, and then stick up all, line them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. If it's too long, you cut them, run in half, or another half, one more half. No problem at all. And then also have some shiitake mushrooms, squeeze the water out. Remove the stem, okay? And then you can go. A tiny bit of green onion. julienne, the green onion, like this. Okay? 1, 2, set it all aside. Then you can quickly stir fry this in this wok. In the meantime, you also want to turn on your burner so you can do the deep fry. When this is nice and done, you can stir fry this with a tiny bit of oil. Okay, tiny bit of oil. And then also a tiny bit of garlic. Mince some garlic. It's no problem. Okay, and then put all of these in. Stir fry. Okay, stir fry all of these. Look at this. Stir fry. Put the rice in and also put some soy sauce, and that's all you really need. Aside from this, you should also use a tiny bit of this seasoning. For instance, tablespoon of oyster flavor sauce. Use a tiny bit of white pepper, a tiny bit of chicken broth, and also 1 teaspoon of sesame seed oil. Stir. And also use about a tablespoon or so if you want soy sauce. After this, let it sit and let it cool down, okay? This is good enough to eat, so you don't have to worry about it because it's just like a fried rice. And next I want to show you is how to fold it. Here we have some wrappers. This is a regular egg roll wrappers that you can find is thicker than the spring roll wrappers. They call spring roll. But you can have them in the summer, in the fall, or the winter too. And it looks like fabric, you see. This is the one that will give that nice crispy texture. So I'll show you. This is the egg roll wrapper, smaller, yellower. And this one is a little bit wider and skinnier and thinner. And then we're going to shut it off, and we are going to show you how easy it is to fold this. Now, here I have some mixed flour and water into a paste, okay? And here I have some rice. I want to show you how easy. You do the same thing with egg roll. You fold it in, tuck it in, fold it in, fold it in, nice and cute, like a Christmas present. Okay, but don't put in your stocking. Look at that. 1, you can do 2, but I don't have any patience, so we'll deep fry this. Now, look at this. When you deep fry spring roll, it's very important to deep fry it when the oil is hot enough. But if the oil is too hot, it will burn, so it's very important. When this is nice and done, I want to show you quickly how beautiful this is. Basically, the stuff inside is done. All you have to do is deep fry the outside. Look at how beautiful. Pick this out, drain it, and put it right over here. And then you're going to cut it. Let me show you. You quickly cut this. And look at how beautiful this is. Fan is the word for cooked rice. And mai is a word for raw rice. So these are the samples I want to show you. Here, you have the regular long grain rice for fried rice, medium grain rice for sushi, and then the brown rice. Brown rice is basically the rice without taking the bran off, so it takes a little bit longer to cook. This is glutinous rice, sometimes called sweet rice. You use a lot of dumpling and rice pudding, and this is Thai jasmine flavor rice, very aromatic. This is the basmati rice, Italian aromatic rice. And this is what they call wild rice. This is actually not rice, it's a grass. You can cook the rice in the regular pot or the clay pot or a regular rice cooker. And there's so many rice. I love rice so much. Rice is always fantastic. The next dish I want to show you, I also use rice, but I use glutinous rice, sticky rice. It sticks like a glue. And this is one dish I would love to gobble it up. all I have to do is marinate the turkey first. I have 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of, this is 5 spice powder, and a tiny bit of 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoon of chopped garlic. And I use about 2 tablespoons or so of soy sauce, okay? I mix them all up, and I will quickly, very, very quickly, and I would rub this over inside out. Marinate this, okay? Yeah. Massage. Marvelous. Inside out. Okay? When this is done, you set aside, you quickly get the glutinous rice filling. First, you turn on the wok. We will put about 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of oil, get about 2 slices Chinese sausage. Okay? Oh, look at this, marvelous. And also, put some mushroom, about 6 to 8 black mushroom already sliced, and about 1 small can of water chestnut, and about 1/4 a cup to half a cup of dry shrimp. Stir fry. Exercise. Marvelous. And then put a tiny, tiny bit of chopped green onion and a tiny bit of cilantro to get the flavor. Now we're going to season it with a tiny, tiny bit of extra garlic. Love garlic. Tiny bit of white pepper, and also we will put the rice right in here. This glutinous rice. It stick to my damn thing. Get out of there. And also when the rice get in, the shrimp jumps out. They get nervous. And then the oyster flavor sauce. If you want, you can also put a teeny tiny bit of extra soy sauce if you want. Another tiny bit of extra soy sauce. Now, it doesn't take too long to cook because the rice is already cooked. All I basically have to do is cook the dry shrimp and the sausage. When it's done, we can shut it off, and we will use this to stuff our turkey, okay? It is very easy to do. All I have to do is put all of these, stuff it in, okay? Put it all in over here. Stuff it in. I hope everybody can see. This is very, very traditional. You can do this with duck. You can do this with chicken. You can do this with quail. You can do anything you want. There's so much that's still left over for you and me. After you finish this, you close this up with this. Close it up. Close this up. Tie it up. And then you will put in the oven and bake it at 375 degrees for about 2 to 3 hours. I have one for you already because we got so many people. So we're going to get this out. Wow, I forget. We got to get this out right now. Look at all these marvelous. This looks so good. Let's remove these. Wow! Right here. And then I want to show you how easy it is to garnish this. All you have to do is slice this. See this? This is electric slicer. You see this? One piece. Another piece. Look at how marvelous. All you have to do is when it's done, you pick this up. When you have to make a living, you have to suffer. Marvelous. Look at how beautiful this thing is. I want to put this. Look at these, huh? So remember, rice is healthy and versatile. You can fry them, steam them, stuff them, or throw it in a wedding. That's why rice is so fantastic. Remember, if Yan can cook, so can you. Join in.